All right, so Jen Atkin collaborated with E.l.f. I'm just popping on some eyeshadow primer. This is Urban Decay Eden, and honestly, I'm a little bit confused about this collaboration. So we have, 3 lip products. Let's see, lipsticks, dual-ended lip products, lipsticks, and then lip liners on the other end. A brow pomade, which I was super interested in. I've played with it a little bit. 2 pencils, Zero Effort liner in brown and black. Is that it? Oh, 2 palettes, face and eye palettes, I think like all-purpose palettes. And then, where did it go? Oh, the setting spray, Mist Me setting spray, which I love the name. First up, I really like the packaging. It's super like clean and simple, you know? Obviously it's e.l.f, so it's affordable. I'm a little confused because I was trying to find like a video where she's like using the products and talking about them, and I couldn't find one anywhere. I went on e.l.f.'s Instagram, I went on Jen's YouTube, I searched YouTube, and there was just kind of like a short promo basically talking about like the donations. So I don't know, whatever. If you use the hashtag and like posts and whatever, post some shit, then they are donating $1 to Girls Inc., which is an organization that I need to look into. I don't know them. And then it says maximum donation $50,000. Only applicable to posts made through May. So like the overall imagery is nice. It's like very clean, very makeup artisty in my opinion, you know, like simple. It obviously like it intrigued me. I wasn't expecting to receive it, and then I did. The 2 palettes I would say are like the hero products. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I'm saying that. And I haven't even touched them. I haven't swatched them or anything. Okay, there's an eyelash stuck to this one. Ew. They're kind of similar, and that's why I was specifically looking for a video on them, because I just wanted to see like what her reasoning for certain colors was, or like which skin tones she said they like would suggest them for, because they just don't seem that different to me, you know, in terms of shade. I mean, they are, but like this one is slightly deeper and this one is lighter, but I don't know, this one is, it seems like it's going to be too dark for me, and this is way too dark for me. So I don't know. I'm a little just like, I'd like your opinion, I guess, on it. Like the colors seem really nice, but they seem like, they just seem really close to each other, you know? There isn't like a huge range. Anyway, so I don't know, maybe we'll kind of like jump back and forth between both palettes. Yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. So I'm obviously gonna start off with the lighter palette. So I do love the name. It's called the Let's Elfing Do This palette. That's really cute. So I'm gonna start off with my face before I go into my eyes. I obviously have like the rest of my base on. So I'm gonna use the bronzer. None of them have like shade names or anything like that. So this is the bronzer from the Light palette, which is, as you can see, significantly darker than my skin tone. So I'm hoping that it's not like ridiculously pigmented. Seems pretty soft. Yeah, it actually seems pretty soft. So treadmill and or Peloton just started, so that's exciting. And I'm gonna use my Morphe M510 brush, which I swear is like as clean as possible. I always wipe it off. It's just like, I mean, it's not clean. I really need to clean it, but we're pretending. So this does look a little bit like red toned for me, but you know, it's like very terracotta. So I'm gonna load up my brush, tap it off, and then start blending. I mean, I can immediately see that it's a little too red toned, but I might be able to make it work. The formula actually does seem nice, like more sheer than I was expecting. I was a little bit worried about how like dark the color is. I'm obviously tapping my brush off quite a bit, so you know, if you think it's going to be too dark for you, make sure you're not like loading up your brush and not tapping it off and just like going in with a ton of pigment. And it does help to use like a fluffier brush. That seems nice though. I like that. It blends over my foundation nicely. I used a tiny bit of my La Mer powder to set my, like the outer perimeter of my face. It's blending really nicely over that. Like the formula looks pretty nice. But yeah, you can definitely like, if you're fair skinned like me and you don't tap off your brush enough, you definitely run the risk of applying too much product, even though it is quite soft, so you just want to keep that in mind, like the difference. Obviously, like if you look at this and next to my skin tone, it's quite a jump, you know? It's a nice formula. I like the formula a lot. It looks very soft in the pan as well. Like when I swatched it, it looked very soft, which is nice as well. I know a lot of people don't hear that, but it's very annoying for me to listen to. It's very unnerving. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a, oh, what are they called? MRI machine? Is that what it is? MRI? But it's like that. It's like almost like a heartbeat or like a thing is alive, and it's very unnerving. Okay, so it's not the worst color, but in the world for me. Like it definitely could be worse. It's very terracotta, I would say. For my skin, I typically go for something that's a little bit more golden and obviously lighter than this because I am so fair and I have very olive skin. So this kind of color ends up just sort of looking very red on my skin tone, especially once I go in with blush. I just look like I got a sunburn or something, and it's not my favorite for a bronzer, but the formula looks really, really nice. Very soft, super easy to blend. Pretty happy with that so far. And I do love an all-purpose palette. Like that's just something that I don't know if I've ever found one that's like perfect for me, but I love an all-purpose palette, something that you can use on your eyes, on your face, like everywhere, eyeshadow, whatever, highlight, you know? Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the blush, just to give you an idea. I don't know if it'll be too dark. Once again, it'll depend on like how pigmented it is. That looks really pretty. Just touching it felt like very velvety and soft. But when I wiped it off, it does look like it could be a little too pigmented. I don't know, you guys. So I'm using my Morphe M405. Once again, tapping off. Okay. Okay, I was very worried about this palette when I saw the colors because I was like, dude, these are gonna be too dark for me, but I'm actually really loving the colors and also the formula, like so soft and blendable. And the blush goes everywhere these days. I don't know if you noticed, but the blush goes everywhere. So pretty. Love it. Easy to blend. Just a beautiful glow. It has like the tiniest bit of sparkle that I can see in there, but not really. It's mostly a matte blush, but I'm assuming that they added a teeny bit of a sheen just to give it like, you know, some luminosity. I just want to be one of those people who just like wears so much blush. I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay, how are we feeling? I really like it a lot. I think it's a very pretty color. It works nicely with the bronzer, you know? Like the colors go well together. It's just like, I'm a little worried about the highlight because it's very dark. Okay, so the highlight is basically darker than my skin tone. So I'm like, it has a really pretty, like a red base and like a gold highlight. Oh, but it looks very soft. Okay, all right. I'm gonna start off using this as like a cheek topper. So I'm kind of like cover my blush and bronzer maybe. Like I gotta use a lighter brush. I've been using my Wayne Goss brush and it just puts on so much product. So, but then like I don't have a brush. So it's like, oh, you know what? I'll use this MAC fan brush actually. This is nice. This is the 184S. Okay, so I'm gonna use this fan brush. Dip it on in. Still tapping. And I'm just gonna dust it around my cheeks. So over my blush, up to my bronzer, above my eyebrow. We're going for glow. That looks really pretty. I'm guessing she was going for bronzy with this palette, just considering the colors. I think it's pretty. It's not a highlight that I like typically go for just because I don't like having to, I don't really like highlights that make me look more bronzy. I don't know why, but the formula looks really nice. Like it's kind of just adding to the healthy glow. Look, I'm actually very impressed by these formulas. Super soft, easy to blend, looks really like natural, pretty into that. Okay, I want to do my brows. So I was very intrigued by this brow pomade, hair and brow pomade. Once again, don't really know that much about the products and or why or how. I don't know if there's a video out there now, but as of right now, I couldn't find one anywhere. So it's interesting. It's clear and it's got like a comb. Kind of looks like a toothbrush a little bit. So it's got long whatevers. And then I have tried this because I was super excited about it. And the one thing that I will say is the product seems to kind of like sit at the bottom of the bristles, which makes it a little bit hard to get it through the brow, but we're gonna go in. I think holding it at an angle like this helps to kind of like get the product in there. Just choking on air. Fuck, every time I say I already went in with a pencil. You know how I do. Yeah. So it was very difficult for me to get a lot of product in there. And it felt very wet. Here's what I'm gonna do. When I first used this, I tried to just like set my brows, but it stayed kind of wet. So what I'm gonna do are too wet to like get it exactly where I wanted it. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just push them straight up to get some volume. That's not really working over here. Come on. And then I'll lay them down. It's not working the way I want it to. Let's try the other side. I don't know. When I tried this the other day, I was very on the fence about it. I kind of feel like the if the bristles were shorter, it would be easier to get the product. Because if I just do this, you're not getting any product on your brows. And then this fucking happens, which is so annoying. All right, so I did it like basically sideways to try and get product in there, you know, all up in there. And now I'm gonna let it sit for a minute. I think this is good now. What the fuck? And now I'm gonna, now that it's like a little, you know, drying, a little bit tacky, now I'm gonna like brush it into place. I feel like that went fairly well on that side. I'm worried about this one because this brow just doesn't like sit up. Like these hairs grow up. This one is just like, you know? Those face products are really pretty. What eyeshadows do I want to use? The swatches seem blendable. You know, pretty soft. While I'm waiting for that, I just want to swatch. This is the highlight from the darker palette. Dude, I wish that I could get away with putting a color like that on my face. This is the darker blush. That's pretty. It's a nice color. So they are like actually a lot more sheer than they look. So don't be scared. It's the bronzer, which would like be ridiculously way too dark for me, even though it's soft. It seems a little bit more pigmented than the blush though. But yeah, they're very soft. I like them. All right, let's go back into this brow. Come on, buddy. Ugh, this one won't do it. It's so fucking disappointing. Maybe if I just hold it for 5 minutes, it'll set like that. Stay up. Thumbnail. That helped a little, I think. Not really. Brow gels, man. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna let those do whatever it is that they're doing. I don't know what this is supposed to be. And I'm gonna do the eyes. So I'm gonna start off with the light palette, and I'm gonna go into the crease with this guy. And I'm gonna go in with the Sigma E25 Max blending brush. No, you know what? I'm so stupid. I'm gonna use the bronzer. Duh, it's an all-purpose palette. I can use this as a transition. I was like, this is a little dark. I'm gonna start off with that. Like, duh, get it together. I kind of want to do like a slightly more glam version of the lobster mac and cheese makeup that I did a little while ago, because I never did like a proper tutorial on it, and I know a lot of people wanted to see it, so like with that new lash line technique. So I'm gonna build this up on the outer part of the eye. Very pretty. I would say decent pigmentation, but also like pretty soft and blendable. Using that same brush and that same shade, I'm just gonna run that underneath my eyes, keeping it relatively close to the, why are you so far away? I don't understand why you do this. I'm gonna grab the e.l.f. pointed eye pencil brush and this darker brown. So this one, which is like slightly more cool toned, matches my top. Not that you can see it, but it matches my top pretty well. And I'm gonna just build up the contrast in that crease. I'm gonna take it all around my eyeball. I'm gonna wing it out a little bit. Go back in with my first brush and just blend around the edges. That's a really pretty, I really like that color. It's just like a very beautiful shadow color. I'm having a little bit of trouble blending on this side, but it felt a little, I could feel some pull, so I think maybe my eyelids were just like a little bit damp. I don't know how else to describe that. Despite that, I feel like it's blending pretty well. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of that bronzer. For my lower lash line, I'm gonna grab, what is this? It's just like a little flat brush. And I'm gonna grab that same brown color and run it underneath my eyes, closer to the lash line. And then I'm gonna start doing that technique where I kind of like extend at the end of my eye to create a little bit of a like fake lash line. Okay, I want to build up the top a little bit more. So I'm actually gonna grab that first brush and I'm gonna pick up the like second brown and just build it up a little bit more. And then I'm gonna pick up that smaller brush, the e.l.f. one, and I'm gonna grab the dark, actually, I'm gonna grab this brown from the other palette, and I'm gonna use that to build up contrast. So I'm very pleasantly surprised by how soft these shadows are. They're not too pigmented, which I feel like the makeup industry just became very obsessed with, or just like the beauty community in general became very obsessed with like very pigmented shadows for a long time. But one of the nice things about these eyeshadows is, I mean, when I first, well, just these powders in general, when I first looked at the colors, I was like, these are not gonna work for me. They're gonna be way too dark. But because the formulas are so soft and they're not too pigmented, there isn't too much like heavy color in there, it's actually going to be a lot more versatile. It's going to be a lot more wearable for a lot of different skin tones. Because when a shadow is incredibly pigmented, it's a lot harder to sheer it out, you know? So it means that if you want like a lot of payoff, then you're going to have to work a little bit harder to build it up. But in my opinion, I think that's better and a lot easier to work with than if it's like very heavily pigmented. Just building up the contrast right now until I'm satisfied. Okay, and then on my lower lash line, I'm gonna pick up that same dark brown from the darker palette on this little like detailer flat brush, and I'm gonna add a little bit more definition to this lower lash line thing, but I'm gonna keep it on the outer corner. So right here, and then I'm gonna keep it a little closer, a little tighter, but I'm just kind of trying to like build up the contrast. I think the more you build this up, the less it's gonna look like a shadow. So if you want it to look like a little more natural and be less noticeable, then maybe don't do this step. Okay, for the lid, I'm gonna grab, I'm trying to decide because I wanna use one of the highlighters, I think. And I really like that one. So this is the highlighter from the dark palette, the darker palette. I think I'm gonna use that. I'm just gonna apply that with my finger. Really pretty golden bronzy color. So I'm gonna place it all over my lid and then just kind of like tap it into those other shades. Very soft. I like that. It's very soft and pretty. It's a very nice color. Right? Going back in with that bronzer. I'm like always just never really sure how heavy how much I want there to be. So I'm constantly going back and forth to decide like how, I don't know, how much shadow I want and like how, not heavy, but you know what I mean. Like how much I want up there. All right, between this, I'm gonna grab this like pale, this like peachy color right here. So it's like a light, it's got like quite a bit of
peach in it. It's just like a nice pale nude. And I'm gonna use this little brush. I think this is the Linda Hallberg's brush, angled brush. I'm gonna pick that up on that, and I'm just going to use it to kind of intensify the difference between these two colors. It's not super duper light, so it isn't gonna be like so shocking, but it just kind of helps to, like, if this area got kind of dark, erase a little bit. You know, like I just kind of opened it up compared to this side. This side looks a little bit more open and deliberate. Okay, for the upper lash line, I'm gonna go in with the black pencil first. So these are supposed to be powder to something. Zero effort liner. So it's supposed to be like a cream to powder or something like that. So it's supposed to be very blendable. And it's a nice traditional like pencil, which I always love for any kind of a liner. So I'm gonna use the brown one and I'm gonna line my eyes first. I'm gonna keep it pretty close to the lash line. And then at the end, I'm just gonna like barely wing it, just a little extend. Like that. And then I've got this little Revlon smudger brush. I'm just gonna use that to smudge. I'm gonna slowly just kind of like build that up and blend it into the shadow up here. It is very blendable. I'm super surprised. It's hard to find a good pencil that like allows you to smoke it out easily, but it's pretty easy to manipulate, which I really like, especially for drugstore. I feel like they always end up kind of being like maybe a little bit too waxy. So I'm pretty impressed with this so far. Because I feel like I'm doing some glam shit over here, you know? E.l.f. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm gonna build that up now, going in with the black, keeping it a little, like basically almost tight lining my lashes. Just kind of like tapering when I get to the end. And then I'm gonna grab that same brush and just literally like just pat on top to kind of blend it into that brown. So I'm creating a little more dimension. Love this pencil. Very happy with the pencil. So nice. Okay, cool. What do I want to do here? Okay, I think I'm gonna finish off my brows and do my lashes, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I went in with just some mascara. I was reckless with the mascara, so if you see any like mascara spots, I was just like, you know what I mean? And then these are my new favorite lashes, dude. I've been wearing these with like everything. They're Inez, I-N-E-Z, by the brand Love Scene. This is what the packaging looks like. And they're segmented, so I didn't use all of them. These are like the pieces that I didn't use. So you can kind of like mix and match, you know, to like however you want them to look. And I'm just like obsessed with them. I just think they, especially with this like lower lash line technique, which now that I have mascara on, it looks super subtle, right? Anyway, let's do lips. We have a red, I don't know how to describe that. It's almost a brick. It's like a light brick color. That's a pretty fire red, I gotta say. And then we have a kind of a warm nude. Yeah, just like a warm nude, I don't know, whatever. So I'm gonna, obviously, what am I gonna use? The warm nude. And then the opposite end of the lipstick is a lip liner. So I'm gonna be really interested to see like how she did this. Let's just see. So that's the, oh, it's pretty, I like that color. So that's a lipstick for the, what, is there a color on this? None of these have like names, so. And then here's the lip liner. I'm hoping the lip liner's darker. Oh, it is, okay, cool. So it's a little bit more cool toned and a little bit darker. Perfect, that's exactly what I like in a lip liner. So it's a little bit thicker than like a regular, it's a little bit bigger. It's pointed, but like, you know what I mean? Once you use it, it's not gonna be sharp anymore, so. It's a little creamy. So the color's nice, but it's a little bit too creamy. I like a slightly more matte formula. Ooh, that's pretty. Huh, okay, well, interesting. All right, well, this is the finished makeup look, up close and personal.
What do we think? Why do I get so fucking oily in my T-zone? I don't understand. Why is this happening to me? Overall, I really like the products. I think they're really nice. I like the packaging. I like the whole, just like the vibe of them is really nice. I love an all-purpose palette. I personally think that everything performed really well, actually. Like, I'm a little surprised by how much I like everything. Let's see if I can just like go through. Oh, I haven't used the mist. We should use that. So stupid. So this is the Mist Me spray. Love the name. I kind of wish I remembered to do this before I went in with mascara, but nice mist. Smells like coconut, which I am so over. I don't like coconut, but it's fine. I hope it's not too dewy. I'm gonna keep it to the outer part of my face, especially since I'm like already, you know, getting all oily in my T-zone. Definitely adds dew. Definitely. I don't think it looks bad on camera, but in person I'm looking a little glazed donut right now. Not terrible though. It looks nice, you know, but I think a little bit got here and I'm obviously like kind of oily in that area, so that's not the best. But it's pretty, it's nice. It's not, dewy mists are not something that I typically go for, but if you have dry skin, you might like it. And if you like coconut, you know. So yeah, I think I like everything. I mean, I'm probably not really going to use this. I hate the smell of coconut. I know I'm like probably the only person, everybody fucking loves it, and it's just like everything smells like it. I don't like it. So, but the packaging's cute, like that. I love the palettes. I think that they perform really, really well. I was so nervous when I saw the colors. I just thought that they seemed so similar. I was like, there isn't a huge difference between these two palettes, and truthfully, they are going to be more versatile than I thought because the formulas are so soft. You know, looking at this, I just thought like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get away with it, but I actually think that all of the colors look really beautiful together, you know? They performed really nicely and I was able to share them out well enough. So I would say that like fair to light skin, you know, this works. As for, this definitely looks more like a medium. You guys, I feel like most of you know this, but if you don't know, I'm not a professional makeup artist. I'm an artist turned makeup artist. I'm self-taught, so I don't have experience with a lot of other skin tones. But considering that the colors like sheer out well enough, it seems relatively versatile. It's obviously not going to be, I mean, this is the bronzer, right? So this isn't going to be a palette that's going to be for anyone who can't use a bronzer this light, you know what I mean? However, I guess those people could use all of these as like eyeshadows. So I don't know. If you have deeper skin, what are your thoughts on this? Just considering there are like two palettes that aren't like too far apart, you know, in range. It seems interesting. Considering the formulas are so similar, you could also like mix colors, you know? And the eyeshadow palette pans are larger, so that's probably good. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I really like the formulas. I think if you are interested, it's definitely worth it. I love the eyeliners. I love the eyeliners because it's very difficult for me to find an eyeliner that you can blend but will stay put. And what I liked about these is that they stayed malleable. Like I was able to blend them, but then they like felt like they were starting to set, you know? And I also really like that she has like a black and brown hello. It's just like classic, whatever, but I love that they're like a traditional pencil. And you know what's really nice? They're square. So I don't know if you can see. It's not really focusing on it, but it's square. It's not round. So when you put it down, it's not gonna roll away. Love that. And then the lip products, I mean, the colors, like, here's the pinky. Like, that's a color. Oh, actually, that's kind of nice. It's actually nicer than I thought it was gonna be. Wow, I'm so quick to hate, especially with my fucking blue hair. That's actually nice, yeah. I like the colors. I like I love the fact that they included a slightly darker, cooler toned lip liner. Like it seems like the lip liner colors that they chose with the lipsticks is perfect. I love this. This is beautiful color combination. My only critique would be, I think maybe I just had a little too much lip balm on, and that's why the lip liner seemed to be more creamy. You know, because when I'm swatching them here on my hand, they look like the same formula. They're both matte, so I think that's probably just operator error. Here's the red as well. This looks like a really beautiful. Yes! Oh my god! Fuck you, dude. That is, I love that. Oh my god, I love it so much.
Yes. All right, and then let's see what this lip liner is that they chose. Okay, well, the lip liner for the red is a little too similar, in my opinion. I would like something that's like ever so slightly darker so I can do like a little bit more contouring, but that's like, yeah, those are like basically the same color. I can like maybe see a tiny, tiny shade change. I can't really tell. Love that red. Ooh, so pretty. For summer, are you kidding? Overall, I actually really like everything. And I was like very pleasantly surprised. They seem like pretty versatile. So if you were interested in any of these products, I would actually recommend them. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish that I knew a little bit more. Like I wish that there was a video out there of Jen talking a little bit more about them. Oh, and then here are the prices. So the lip duos are $8. Like, are you kidding me? That's fucking bomb, dude. For this nude? Wow, okay. E.l.f, you know what I mean? The brow pomade, which that's the one thing that here's the thing. It does kind of hold, but it doesn't do enough for me and what my needs are, you know? Like they look fine. It held okay. If your brows aren't so difficult to deal with or they don't need that much, maybe it would be good. I want to like it, but it's just, it doesn't hold well enough for me. So, but it says set and define hold brows and flyaways. So it's supposed to be for like, you know, just hair in general, which is kind of nice. So I like that she's kind of incorporating her like Ouai, you know, brand sort of. The Let's Elfing Do This palette is $14 per palette. The eyeliner is $5. Very good. Mist Me is $8. Is that everything? Yeah. So those are all really, really good prices. So overall, I think that they really nailed it. I really like it a lot. Yeah, it's a good collab. It sort of surprised me. I didn't really see Jen post anything about it on her Instagram. So I was a little like, where's the info, you know? I'd love a little bit more. But overall, I really like it. I like the look. I like the way they performed. And I think as far as like a drugstore, super affordable makeup, like this is fantastic. Really performed well. So let me know what your thoughts are. Do you like this makeup? Do you like my paisley top? Do you like my background? Do you like my hair? I'm gonna go now. Okay, great talk.